David Brooks reported in 2017 that a bunch of Republicans came out of a meeting where Donald Trump displayed some signs that were similar to the early stages of Alzheimer's. You've got reporting, I think, from Phil's newspaper, from Axios and other places, that in and out of the room, people either disparagingly or affectionately are saying at an increased clip, he's crazy.
Let's see. Trump-Russia collusion that was guaranteed by Rachel Maddow turned out to be a complete bust, especially after Mueller's appearance before the House committee last month. So what do we do? How do we get rid of Trump? How? Oh, wait. Oh, I got it. We'll pretend that he has Alzheimer's disease, and maybe we can get rid of him by the 25th Amendment. Oh, we have to get rid of him. Of course, not by election, but by other means.
You know, there's pervasive reporting in this regard, and if it was Grandpa, you would probably take him to see a neurologist or someone who specialized in geriatric medicine. That hasn't happened here.
That we know of
is right, but the remedy is the 25th Amendment. And that requires an intact cabinet, which Trump does not have, whether by design or by accident. Most of the cabinet is acting, we don't know what the mix would look like in a vote, and there's no will to take that on in any event.
Yeah, that was MSNBC legal analyst Joyce Vance, who's a complete leftist moonbat. She served as a U.S. attorney, I believe, under the Obama administration. And just a month ago, she made a complete fool of herself by tweeting that Fox News wouldn't be covering the Mueller hearings in Congress. And, then later, when she was called on it, she says, oh, no, I was just kidding. It was just sarcasm. Yeah, right. Maybe it's not Trump that's suffering from Alzheimer's, as you claim, but somebody much closer to you, Joyce?
So there's no will to fill a cabinet with the kind of appointees that would have that power. I would posit that there's not a lot of will to have this conversation, but when it shows up in black and white in the hard copy print of the New York Times, it's impossible for me to ignore it. I mean, you've now got the White House beat reporters, including in their stories about the rally, says the man repeated himself as though he didn't know he'd already made those points.
Yeah, Nicolle just cited the New York Times, which, as we all know, is absolutely unbiased in its coverage of the Trump administration, despite the fact its own executive editor, Dean Baquet, or Baquet, however you pronounce his name, we have a transcript of him recently talking with his staff about how since the Trump-Russia collusion fraud didn't pan out, that the way to get at Trump is to charge him with racism. It's all there in the transcript, by the way. It's online. And by the way, speaking of Nicolle Wallace, I mean, she, another Trumper, former Republican, or as she says, recovering Republican, and she realizes that the more she displays her TDS on MSNBC, the more she can secure her paycheck. She has her own show now. Does anybody think that if she was not another Trumper, she would actually have her own MSNBC program? So keep going further and further off the edge, Nicolle. It guarantees your job security at MSNBC. And now, let us hear from that noted expert in the field of neurology, Dr. Al Sharpton.
When you look at the fact that Grandpa is not sitting home reading the paper, but he's on the front page of the paper, and that Grandpa is the football with the nuclear bombs mechanisms near him, this is frightening. You're talking about a man yesterday that at one point in the speech was attacking Hillary Clinton, which was 2.5 years ago, kept repeating himself, attacks an overweight supporter of his that he was there supporting him. And we've been hearing over and over again that he's losing it. And I think what is driving this even more, Nicolle, is that with the economy appearing to be headed at least downward, if not a recession, what you have in England and other problems in Europe, it drives him even further into whatever cloudy area he is mentally, and he's becoming desperate because the race card that he used the last couple of weeks is not working.
And if there's anybody that's an expert in playing the race card, it's Al Sharpton. Twana Brawley! Hey, Al, have you threatened any Korean grocers lately?
Displayed some signs that were similar to the early stages of Alzheimer. Displayed some signs that were similar to the early stages of Alzheimer. Displayed some signs that were similar to the early stages of Alzheimer.